So hi, hello. My name is Aleksandra Rozmus. I'm from the students' radio Egida, and I am here at the media call at the Phantom of the Opera production in the Pre-Zero Arena Gliwice, and I'm here with.
Hello, my name is Sophią McAvoy and I'm the assistant director here at the Phantom of the Opera.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I was really inspired by your speech before. Why do you think it's the Christine's journey that we should follow in your production?
I think it's because she is the emotional center of it all. Actually, what happens is she's kind of our anchor point, and we see the journey and the growth of these two men, specifically Phantom and Raoul, but that's all based on her and what she gives to that relationship, what she kind of stands her ground in, and through her discovery from a young woman to a much more independent, sort of solid in her values and her essence. And ultimately, she shows Phantom compassion, empathy, and it's through that he lets go. He sees what the love is, and that it comes back to it just being about the music, and it got all entangled in the way, and it became obsessional. And so that's a massive growth for him. He only takes that because of her. Same with Raoul as well. You know, Raoul often, and our director Stephen, he sort of sees that every time that they meet, it's almost a little, there's friction there. And friction's not always a bad thing. I know with my partner, my fiance, we sort of bicker and have disagreements. It's why I love him. And I think it's sort of similar in that sense, that it's a young chase love, it's a discovered love, it's but there's familiarity there. And Raoul sort of decides everything for Christine until he doesn't. He comes and he shows such an act of a hero. He comes to rescue her, but there's a moment where he goes to give back the Phantom the mask, say, I'll keep your secret. I don't want people to come and murder you because of your bad things. That's growth for him as well. And so, the pair of the men, they grow, but because Christine's a superstar.
Yes, that's always what fascinates me. I saw the original production in London 3 times.
Oh, great.
So each time I had a different thought about who is the actual villain of the story and who I really want Christine to be with, because each time I saw Raoul and Phantom differently. And I wanted to ask you, is there a villain in this story?
No. I think there's no villain, there's no hero. It's a beautiful triangle. It's a triangle of people trying to work out values for themselves, and I think it's up to the audience's interpretation. That's what's great about this piece and why it's lasted so long, is that I think that some people at the end of it might feel a certain way about the Phantom or feel a certain way about Raoul. But actually, that's what I said. It was beautiful to speak to everyone today to go, what about for once? Would it be so mad to look at it really from the woman's point of view, from Christine's point of view? And I think that's really inspiring for everyone, all genders. I think it's a beautiful way to look at it, and it's much more interesting.
Yes, because we have Christine, who's this young aspiring star, as you mentioned, and she's caught between the lack of mentors in her life, and she's trying to find this anchor in her destiny. And I feel like she struggles between what's familiar and what's passionate in her life.
Perfectly put.
And each time I see it, I feel differently about it. So I want to ask you how your perception of the show changed.
Yeah, I mean, my perception of the show continually changes, and purposefully, I sort of, because I watch the show every night and note the actors and make sure that the audience gets the best version of it. And sometimes I watch the show and I go, okay, I'm Christine, so like I'm kind of going through the thought process with Georgia, and then in that moment, I go, oh, wow, that was so strong of her to think this way, and I go, oh, all right, madam, and then sometimes I watch a Raoul show and I go, gosh, poor Raoul, he's just trying to go, I'm here, like, what
I'm
I,
here
I'm
for
gonna
you.
I'm here for you. And she sees that as a cage on her almost, no freedom. She asks him on the roof, like, all I want is freedom, like a chance to dream. And then that's what Phantom gives to her, but Phantom doesn't have the support that Raoul does. And so my perception of the show is continually changing depending on whose eyes I'm seeing the show through. And Carlotta, we didn't meet Carlotta specifically in this version, but I touched upon it. But she is our opera diva. She's an opera star. And actually what happens is she loses her job. And rather than, after giving so much loyalty to the show, making the producers or the managers go, no, please say, well, let's work it out, let's sit down, have a cup of tea, very British, and
Yeah.
work it out. And actually, no, what happens is they go, oh, fine then, and they cast a member of the quarter ballet. So insulting.
Hmm.
All that training and the kind of commitment that Carlotta has given to her, and she just gets replaced just like that. Awful.
Yeah, I think it's also a commentary about fame,
Yes.
the new shining thing,
Yeah.
and how we value the fresh and the young, and we do not appreciate experience enough.
No, you're so right. And I think that's what's great is there's lots of things to take from it. There's lots of characters that are so relatable, It's really it's really deep and complex.
Yes, I have never thought actually about this show, about it being relevant or relatable to me. I don't know. I never thought about this. I always followed this character's journey of. I always followed Christine, and I was looking through those connections with Raoul and Phantom, and I had some moments when I thought, "Wow, Raoul is really." I felt that cage on her because they met in childhood, and I feel like from the very beginning, for him, it's like, "You're mine."
Yes.
This kind of position. We've met again, it's destiny, you're mine. And I feel like at the beginning he doesn't give her this kind of, maybe not freedom, but this perception that she also grew as a person, she also changed. He has this vision of her in mind that they met years ago, and now she's a completely new person with new horizons. So to see this dynamic change, and as you mentioned in the final moments, him actually giving this independence back to her, it's what makes, I think, Christine choose him.
Yes. Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah.
That's and when the audience is coming for the show, what is the one thing that they do not notice?
What is the one thing that the audience don't notice? Yeah,
Yes.
great question. I don't think I've ever been asked that one. I'm not. I don't notice. Well, I would like to say it's a testament to the actors that they do notice everything. But one thing that they won't notice is the actors that we have are incredible, so talented, and they make it look so easy. And so I don't think they will realize or notice how hard that some of the things that we ask them to do is. Whether that's like the physicality of the quarter ballet, whether that's the coming out, no music, and somebody singing, the walking down the stairs as singing.
Yes.
There's so much to navigate. I don't think anyone notices how or pays attention to go, wow, that's so hard actually, and they just make it look easy.
And somehow we expect them to be perfect every single night when
And
they're just
what's the joy in
human.
that? It's like, it's live theater.
Yeah, it's incredible that after this time of pandemic, we're coming back actually to the live theater. I don't think anyone expected this kind of boost, and especially in Poland to have a musical in the original language, actually. I have never been in Poland in the musical that just have the subtitles. And to see that many people coming from so many nights that they might not see those subtitles, they might just be here and still get the feeling of it. It shows you how much like the Polish audience has changed.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's inspiring for me to hear actually, and I can't wait to see if they think of it.
Okay, thank you so much for
Thank
for
you
this
so
interview.
much. It was amazing.
It's been great to talk to you, and yeah, I'm Aleksandra Rozmus, and this is Radio Elida.
Thank you.